I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution.
And welcome back to yet another Muscle in the Morning on this fine Thursday. I'm Tyler Shore. Let's get right into the bodybuilding news. To all of the Andrew Jacked fans out there, now might be a good time to start getting your popcorn ready, because it looks like your guy is gearing up to make another stop on his 2023 campaign. According to the latest reports from his camp, Andrew is planning to compete at the Texas Pro 8 weeks from now, which, as we all know, is the place where he set the bodybuilding world on fire for the first time when he came out of nowhere to scoop up his first win there. Considering what we've already seen from him this year, you'd imagine that he's going in as the prohibitive favorite, even though we've also heard rumblings from a few big names who might be planning to throw their hat into the ring. But if Andrew rolls in there at 100%, it's probably a good night sweetheart situation, because it's going to be a tall order for anyone else in that lineup to challenge him for the top spot. So, as mentioned just a moment ago, we've heard some rumblings about the Texas Pro attracting a handful of big names this year, including Hunter Labrada, who looks like he has this show at the top of the list for his season debut. At this point, Hunter's off-season progress has been well documented, and we're all aware that he's spent the last few months putting on a lot of quality size and taking the necessary measures to bring down his waist. For all intents and purposes, this has been one of the most productive off seasons of his career. At his best, we've seen Hunter place as high as 4th at the Olympia, which means that he's as good as anyone on the circuit when he's firing on all cylinders. So, if Hunter's conditioning can be as good as we've seen it at times in the past, he's definitely a prime candidate to give Andrew a run for his money. In addition to Andrew and Hunter, it looks like Charles Griffin is starting to get himself in gear for the first show of his season, and rumor has it that he might be gearing up for a West Coast trip to compete at the California Pro. Charles won the Cal last year after putting together what was the best look of his career at the time, and given what we've seen from him throughout the course of the offseason, he should be on pace to blow that look out of the water. We know for sure that he added more size over the last few months, but similar to what we've seen from Hunter, it looks like he's also put a lot of work into trying to bring down his waist, which will only improve his aesthetics and give his frame a better taper. Charles has done a very good job of remolding his physique over the past 2 years, and by all accounts, he's on track to continue that trend for 2023. So as long as he can avoid the trap of over-dieting and not coming in too flat, I'd say that the odds of him defending his title are looking pretty damn good at the moment. And our final update of the day to you comes courtesy of 212 legend Hidetada Yamagishi, which I'm sure I said correctly, and who caught everyone by surprise earlier this week when he announced that he was planning to make a comeback to competitive bodybuilding after a 3-year hiatus. At this point, we're still uncertain about what the timeline is here, but given the amount of muscle that he'll need to put on to be competitive at a high level in this division again, you'd imagine that it's probably not going to be anytime soon. When Hide was at the peak of his powers, back around 06 and 07 when he won the 212 division at the Arnold, he was one of the most complete athletes from front to back in all of bodybuilding. And he had a stretch during the 3 or 4 year window when he was capable of holding his own with anyone in the division on any given night. So now, whether or not he can get anywhere close to being that at that level is another story altogether. But if he puts together a solid stretch of training and he stays injury free, there's a chance that we see him jump into a show like the Masters Olympia, where he'd have a puncher's chance to come in off the bench and make an impact. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Tyler Shore, holding it down for Dave and RxMuscle. We'll see you next time.